Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Dialogue with the Youth So on Gunjur Online TV. Once again, you are with your presenter, Mr. Ebrima Janneh. The time in Leeds, it's about just 7 o'clock. The same time in the Gambia, and Eastern time is about 7 past 2 o'clock. Today, our topic is emotional because this involves lives. We are going to discuss about the maternity death, the increasing maternity death in the Gambia. We're going to discuss about the issues of drugs cascading into the Gambia and the impact this will have or may have on our youths, the mental health, the crime rate, and etc., etc. And we will discuss why our governments are keeping quiet, both in the case of the maternity mortality rate or race in the country and the pouring of drugs in the country. For 27 days now, or almost a month, free ton of drugs has been impounded in the Gambia. No comment from the authorities. To discuss these mouth-watering topics, I have Mr. Salifu Manneh, our regular guest, and Salif, because he just came from Gambia, he will share with us his observations on the ground. He will also, as an expert, one of the tower engineers in mental health. He has his own mental health charity in the Gambia called Mobe, and he will analyze the impact of excessive amount of drugs pouring in the streets of the Gambia. Also, working in the NHS, the National Health Service in the UK, for many, many years. He will share his experience with us about the maternal mortality rates. Why are they increasing? Why is it excessive in the country? But, sadly, why is the government not talking about all these things to address the issues? We are losing our young people. Our youths are dying, from preventable diseases. Our mothers and sisters are dying from preventable diseases. In the Gambia, pregnancy, labor, and delivery comes with the risk. The fear is so spectacular at the moment that, I spoke with some young women. They are considering whether they will even be pregnant, because they think, once you get pregnant, any complication, you go to that hospital, you don't come out alive. This is a sad situation. I'm emotional already. I have to welcome Sal Manneh. Sal, welcome to Dialogue with the Youth. So,
thank you very much, Ebrima. And as usual, I feel very humbled to be here this evening to explore this wide range of social problems we have in the middle of our communities and in the country at the moment. I feel very touched by it as well, because here we have a country with only 2 billion people. If and only if our resources, our knowledge, our behaviors, and a wide range of factors, if they were consolidated and put together properly, we would potentially have been one of the happiest nations in the world, because we've got the size, we've got the resources, we've got the people, and all that we needed to do was a little bit of blending with good leadership. We would have been miles ahead of many of our neighboring countries. So thank you very much for having me here.
ya baraka bake mbadi ngoli mbali tentula mbal samala mbal bisimila ina program oto nim fodinkel ka program o min soto ka wagunjur online TV mi yalon ka be fonyo kon alnalla presentalom mi yalon ka program ol ka jante Ebrima Janneh bi mu araboleti ka February karo tilisaba na time o je UK wala Angleterre ci time o be dami wala mu tala wara wala tambita do manding Gambia fanan time o be wala nyama tala wara wala tambita minute tanim fula en America ngabra talam fula tambita minute tanim fula ni time o be tara wallet o na salfana kola do manding bi nga na luntamba so to jang na gunjurun ko bawo na dada Gambia buka bono gunjuru kono pour nga ko le discourse bari njanta min discourse la biya bala fa warata baba bawo dunia be age min to be ntolla ka konoma Gambia anin kata tingoto ani wuludulato wo be musa foko wo mu njera helbe loren jedoro nimmi yalon ko mistake dinko do text you bara manke ko alala nyinkede nyimmu kulete mi yalon ko se prevent nole bawo na musol nimbare musol anin balum imanyan na silala hospital ola pour kataka wuluje je pour ka sila ka konoma because of hospital or momin damma ka faje wo balafa warata bakele not only musol damma but dobije most of tun dindingol fanan ka faje wala dindingol ka wulu premature iman si ni yake wero kono ye fa bawo ibale man tare bulani care mi yalon ka ni negligence min kake me nim bo kachala secondly fanam ni wato kono not only 3 tons droko mi yalon ka danna tambe siatale sakondora banko be doyare nyami nga sai so be doyare nyami andu dolla banko funding kelle siata wodro ko le nata ya mutanna banko ka dunta je bar bi hani bi non masakunda la bundal fana mi marata wodro ko la ko la momon kuma foje mam mo fana arrest mi ya lon ko msafo ko mo kumalamu e komintamu ko boritale bo fana kacal bawo not only that janni wo kake drug do le follow nata na wo drug ko minni nata minni fenke akata fo sanji killing ye wol bula manko moy wola di moroccan hash all fanan dunta banko ka ye mutam o fanan interpol o fanan report wala ya sabu fama finti because the order one rebel so nyin drug ko mu min be kake banko ka ngalo ne maybi dol be fintilal o jama be fintilal ba jama ba fanan be tulan na banko kan abe masibo min kelan na funding kele kan ko droko ne salif be wala kachala not only fitino katun droko nim fitino le kata danu dawoda anin nyama to ya ka for mental health akamin ke mi ya lon ko funding ke jama bi ngalon ne nasilo le kambe nyadi ni momi nyanta ni discourse la wala Salif Manneh molo mi yalon kay do ko ke nyimbanko kal lopitano bunda fifa o sifa le to en sako nyim mental health molo mi yanko ka sondo mo kurangol soto ay londi jama soto wodulato en ay fansun charity soto mi yalon ka molo mako min yanko ka sondo mo mamol soto pour mako ro katu mako ro dasata baba ke Gambia le e ka fo charity yele mobe wo ka mama ko jama ke molla min yalon ko ye nyi sondo mo kurangol soto yande so mbe nyinkol kacha ala Salif be mako la pour que nyini kacha ana experience min soto Gambia man sakunda be minella pour que nyinku sifal mi yalo ko be na banko kam pour que address Salif mbe bismillah la programme oto
yo aba baraka bake Ebrima nyimu ku kende balti pour koleya min be na banko kan fo domor koleyalum fo jata kende a koleyalum fo kodi ku koleyalum ba akuma yata bakele pour banko din damalum ka kacha anun ka kacha banta balto min yalon ko kacha nyi se futa mo jamal bi kacha be lorim bunda minto bunda follow nyin wolo maternal mortality dum bi Gambia fango ni be Gambia bi ama mo kumpa abe radio to le wati abe mol da kono le wati fema sabu fo musul min kata wulu wala loptano to ebe jekirin ko ebe wulu la kayra kono le boje kayra kono number ko kate taraje fo ika fo niola ika fo denanul fanan andong amanke kukutati Gambia ni manke kukutati Gambia de nyimeta Gambia andong nim manguli bi nga kuke mim sa akuo bang wala prevent completely ajita to kela le drum before la funding ke musola nim dena no la continuously irresponsibly found bari ñing ko be ni ajibe ni be healthcare system ko mo be dalon bi dunia falintal ilafta fengo fen karanna modo bulisa karanga tare mantala sate fangoto wala mantala banko kan ni lafta ila banko ñatilindila jata kende ya bunda la miya lon ko sahata iman jarfan kata ka finti kata banko dolta jibe ifan la banko jibe bang ifan ñinin ka bang ntol mu 2 million da malti na jata kende ya bunda na bunda da sifa jamal le bembul ñolmi be marari musul la wulu wala ni de nano la ko ila kulu be ñadile na man sakunda kodo jelle ka dunje na man sakunda ka jelle invest na jata kende ya bunda wo kuma fololti momo e sefa mo ñenen kamen because folto be nena healthcare system o jibe kabirim primary healthcare wolom na ñing sokono loptano como ko gunjur loptano sabije loptano do wolom primary care anu ni primary care jibe ni di Bamako agreement jibe mi ye primary care aya kuma yandi baken to la healthcare to ko ninga resources so to nga put into the primary care because that's where the problem solving resolutions lie na primary care but ninga nyaka sin na primary care la abe deteriorate la tinya fo ni kuma fango yedi mi ni tade jete paracetamol soto so ni man paracetamol sam pharmacie si fango te paracetamol soto yoni nata ñing wudu bundulalto ni be healthcare system o banking ya sotole ñin non healthcare services be la soto service was service ka sile ye fango kontibo ye fango ñinen ka nko bi kabo serun kana bi ngamun kulle ke min ya lon ko betea ngamun kulle ke min ya lon ko man betea ñenta na cool improve la ñaade na performance be ñaade jang ni bi jang e fengol so de ga fa mi ko fenko key performance indicators key KPIs so ikela key performance indicators ika wole jibe ya jibe itela kafo wale yete londi doku bla mindo abe tama kanyade muno mala success muno mala failures muno mala challenges como que problem like nyimi mboko maternal mortality wote tarla kela no banko kam mo bebe derin tek ya mira ko ala solution of Finland from the air no people have to take action many responsible to kola they have to take action ndol mi mu consumers of healthcare we have to take action so fanga wuru sidol kanga banal fintinde nga foko ñi ñanta stop la na mim ronta ja ñanta correct la so neñi key performance indicators jibe for example dol takata le fo tang dol takata fo dul follow people ni mol table do kulal table mini la do ko long mini ya londo soto mini ya mecho soto monebe ulud la soto la no loptano data soto yo boda je quality ni mo nata loptano ya jiyandi nyame loptano to ya treat nyame loptano to ye jisumal diela nyame jikandol diela nyame ya badi mo la ni mini nata ye be sindi ye be nyandi nyame it all counts. It's a big part of ning carity mbebe ming dream kan because dream lom at the moment need of ning performance indicators established la into na healthcare you quality ning quality to fento because dola fenko maternal mortality ka kenyin loptano min beto they are substandard services many they are not fit for consumption and imagine tarla na banko kan ni health regulator ben na banko kan dul fang bije anyande wol soron na le kabiring in terms of ila existence yo yet time fananjibe musol bi kana fu wulu wala loptano to every day so you have all the time on your hands pour ni musu tanne jina in the next 20 days pour kawul bela wulu individually ya be plan ya make soko follow oxygen ni yellow muna mole ka manki balia wala bang ni bina uto bi alon ko yelo le ka ila yelo ka bonne ila ni yelo ka bon ifana bela fulale e gitara wol londi pour min bonde ka jose kodi because at that point ni yelo bonta fa banda ibe falale yelo be mola masin kono essence onin tuluyal ni de moto kono abe lola so about time to growth ntol fon tolbe tula tentine ba Gambia independence kabiri 1966. Majority of Gambians population ma for be population but the population let's say Sanji Town Command without conducting any statistical arrangements iba jeloko maybe 80 to 85% be wuluda swolokon. And they had no complications.
Yeah.
So what has changed? In a country like dynamics, mune change up to a point where in a country from Balabangkudingol Fakang in a proportion unbelievable, unacceptable, intolerable. Because at Mvulata stage that was sign. Yo, Blal Fanana financial performance. Gambia, when it comes to investing finance in health, it's one of the worst nations in the world. 2014, for example, Gambia per capita investment was $23. Gambia. Yo, inajibe population mimboko Rwanda la population, which is about 7 times more than Gambia la population. Wo is investing about $50 per person. Kafo ko look, ali fanka tajim $50 or na budget kono na banku dingo ko ya ma health wise. Nyim $50 accumulatively. Wole be nyim mari jara. Yeah. So Ntula healthcare system chronically is unfunded. Yo niajibe ibika prioritize. Every government minata bika prioritize. Ye femol bulaje to resolve themselves naturally. And what is impossible? Be bankol bebe invest into healthcare. So what nga danjan to follow Ebrima for if I'm madola fale.
Yes, Salifu baraka baba ke baraka ibe min fenke kan ibe min sata kan is so important man la fi fanke kuntuje o yalo and jannim bitala be Aisatu Manneh Jallo o Jallo Manneh Aisatu ba konton number 10 tula ago Gambian women life matter, which is very true and barbutu amanya nakela only slogan ti be nyanta jibe la lense minke no ngang kan wulindi pour ñi yebay because ñimma acceptable la demande saleka ñimmim fa kuma akuma ya tabakele bawo jannim bitala dulato man sakunda ñanta health ñing prioritize la pour na budgetol ñing abuja o dawda la min ketaje pour yala lafa at the moment current budget min yalon ka tambita nearly about less than even 5% of that budget about 2% plus wallet health.
Exactly.
Even president wala ndawalole siata na health wala ni agriculture la budget woyalo. So that tells a lot where the priority lies. Bao ni ambulance one of the way that moto buka soto puru ni moy complication soto bunju. Janna ya samba fo birikama fo banjun woka tare ko letita blita fo amam fenkeno. Yo bari nkaje motol be sansannale be dila individual la ambulance be kasa pour ko sifa address bar jannim bitala wodulato nga ika example o min fo nyim fatu diba ato mi yalon ko serum amambe fan a few months back ba on dunta sankuto kon nyim fatu dibe asama German hospital German clinic let birenga tada German clinic to ay twins on le so ay flandi on le so kilingo nata do man na ay complication also. They did a cesarean on her. Barita ho nyato i problem also to ikaita Edward Francis Small Hospital. Bari biringa tata woto a lot of the wolfanan doctor or ko manta jela because might be as a keno like COVID yan mane la be bleed kan yelo be bondi la bala biri ya lon ko me convince no ake ni moto ya dunu kote ya ina borita MRC fana min ni taraje wol fana ko itamal biri yo woke murunta ning German clinic to again yeri fa kote back to Edward Francis Small Hospital afutata Francis watara blita ala broad preso jita si was gasping for air abe ambulance kono fa that fa Salif, could you believe e dinno bonda kono woli no hayna hani biya bije among COVID soto fa to man COVID soto she just died. Just elaborate on this, Salif. And in private hospital only the damage be minna just go ahead because in case stories they are important pour ngane fena woyal.
Ebrima ni private hospital akuma ya back kuru nge fena into na discussions because jama mo jama be Gambia ye family soto abroad ni la mo kuranda isa samba in private hospitals because more baby la fela a good care so la moy ibika samba banjul loptano ke samba private hospital le ye jo kodibal for example imo nata loptano do ya charge 120,000 for that treatment ye femo be prescribe by borrow everything ye nyuko ibuloko and wo borrow ya lo ko maybe o te minna no fam ate use no but ni aje ko ala status bina critical kande isa fe ko okay mbe transfer la banjul anu ni transfer ila kodo min tute bulu como ko boro le man min minna ibiko kodo sende la it's a waste of money so mimbije Ibrima na private hospitals they are not properly regulated man regulator soto mean say private hospital will investigate as part of a marila doku or kafoni na doku can make sure ko you mean sign with the government ko it will be killer no wulu blate and they've got all the equipment and they've got all the facilities so that Nimo Nadaje as a wuluje safely. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing for a pregnant woman. Purai wulu safely. Niaje la itako imu wulu dulalt. And alma mosoto ming in an emergency like cesarean. Dr. Tijemi so conduct no. So why should you people have a certificate ko almo a place of excellence the puru wulu? It's false. Atra moli kodol. So again, the burden rests on the government's shoulders. Government like ala banku dingol. Government like protect from harm, and be na government yem fail from protecting pregnant women from harm. Because government ya lone ko ning harm karali be caring in hospital A, B, C, D, E. Muna mamo kije hospital sorong. Staff will prosecute bini alonko medical negligence and nursing negligence. Abe caring doctor no bed. And then the other key thing, Ibrahim, to love society Benjamin. Gambia no le sambo koleata dunia ni mobeti because munatina ya fonna diamu follow to ko mo kana UK for example ajibe ko ni lafta dollar e karanne ntol na learning and in experience can translate into reality or into some change mimbe majority benefit la in our country mbika keno mul kana jang ika karanjang for 10 years yes say they maintain the same attitude arrogance they maintain the same mental attitude ko ha saimodo chabole bente bulu min dia tanyen sake e kanyina ko itul bota daming places e bota min karankan woma wo fol gambianol man compassion so gambianol man passion so gambianol man empathy so this is why they are sentencing our young women to death many along they are pregnant. It's irresponsible. It should not happen. The 24th century lekon nemiro government na motor mini kabori moto kilungo fa say wulula proper one with no so nin doctor as a create sukuda a create gunjur a create burfood pour man jaray mo fang na lafta wulula as a wulu safely wolom di empty dimbaya bekala fi wala puri bamalo ila musolo dingolu ye wulu safely and this man sakunda le say more so wo tunnola ani nyanto adama dingo adama ding ye nyanto le sodo pregnant woman na nyanto mo nyenneti ay wulu safely alafta wulu la dami fo suwo kono lombam fo loptano to lombam na ya choose alafta wulu la dami man sakunda la responsibility lom ka support pour ay wo aim achieve to deliver the baby safely wulu wo manke kono maya manke courant natural process lom anu jim bat manke courant natural process lom so jama abe katale right but jama fanan abe bukata right so namanta right need to molle la mini alonko they've got the know-how, they've got the education, they've got the attitude pour kan na musol nin dingol ke attend nibe konomayala because at the moment almost every sector of the government ila modu nyanda tala customer training customer care training ni mo dunte kan loptano ta ni tulom no so titulom doctorol ni nurses be before you practice you have to sign a code of conduct and if that code of conduct itela do kudla itela code of conduct they mean sign and in a practice it's not consistent with the code of conduct and you are failing expectations of more minikale walling then you should not be in that service but without a regulator nte also tala no right So government have to step up. Honestly, Niman step up, you're going to lose a significant proportion of the pregnant women population.
Yes, thank you, Salif. Nyun kumaya tababa kele puru nga diamu nga nyo agwaya yandi nga lonko nyo manke ala kuti. Ala all the necessary tools dinale puru mina sabu UK almost the whole year mume be mobo kafa tingoto or any complications me ya lonko related to pregnancy and in Gambia nearly kami record womi me record about nearly 600 people 597 people per 100 per 100,000 per 100,000 could you believe that so woman yanda kela handin taro no manke ko modoli bari ni level is too high especially when you have authority the health ministry Dr. Samade Kafoko musolla nyun tingoto coming for people are exaggerating that so yeah they don't even want to accept the situation
no
so woku maya tabakele sali we mbitala nga fanta jo fanang sungutun ding me ya lonko brikama kono mata woleto abe stronding on the 3rd of January nin January min tambita a stronding wala tamata abe bambanding kuo kuma kala tata brikama hospital ila doctor mi ya jek wokai ko ngamire dingo fate kono just like that biri wo fire te panic tale ala blood pressure select ala wo bawo she was happy and all those things ya taya samba banjun biri ate wo foi ko wala moli ya tay ko to nga samba banjun bawo dingo fata ko nakate tamala idada banjun inducement try pour wo wulu wo manke ya samba cesarean section idada woto iko yelo le manke ala moli dunda dula mume beto ya try 2 pints of blood yoke iko blood back manso ejida yelo ke bago min fan kono pour ka den kaka balo kono ko wole manso ibo borin nin tani na la pam fanta job da afata iko dingo min fata kono biri ya kono fara e wodi ni bonda kende ma hanbi dinno hayna balore
imani
yes. So how can this be acceptable, sir? How can just these things be acceptable? Just go ahead, sir. New case studies, we need to bring them. You need to learn them.
Mfango badingolo mol mimbe do ko lo loptano do mfango dolo mfango kotolo mfango lonyolo ni jita nika ataya fango me so why ni dingol a problem so do mimbo ko wulu problem o ni nata loptano do muna de treat la with dignity and respect so in cases ni mansakunda nyamendanu abe profile bale dadala in case fa moy dawda investigators kije. And if they found the medical team and in the nursing team negligent, they prosecute. They have a case. Yes, somebody have to prosecute. Look, this was what we found at Brikama Hospital. Some evidence of negligence. So, prosecutors say prosecute. At the end of the day, need to court fine. Asatara, examples let's say. But in told, Ebrima. Jata kenda ya bunda ya karane as a doctor, psychologist, nurse, or in any other public service capacity. The first thing it come in for you, wolo mnyintiko jata kenda ya bundula jata kenda ya dukudla ibina dunamindo nimam balafatiyo soto amankela wote momo mam balafatiyo soto wote duko kela non loptanol because it come in sign como ko la code of conduct wolo mnyintiko mbe min kela mbani mfaye ani mbari muso ni koto nimbe lori mbe min kele mbe wala kela momo e min nata turu nyin dato because yela jiko le semben nita kela no ika felo ko ila bagasol be landi ite modo fu jela min sina ay wokeno ndolla mol mam barafati yoso ya ni kodo ning life landi ibe kodo chikala ye life tuje
wallahi
be bankoka people morals tije kafo kamola nyanto diala tije open biko fon calculate ala behaviors fangon and when masakunda biko calculate ala behaviors kono you have a very big problem with ala masakunda min ka jibe hada madingo nyanto mumunete musolla right lo mini be brikama ya choose kataka wulo brikama nibe wulo brikama ila right lo to have access to save medical professionals and nursing professionals so that they can deliver safely. hani wo professionals will be fam yante ke check from time to time fo yemin fo kaito bala ko yo nole ko se tingo muso mi mote so attend nole fo wo skills be bulle hani sai nate buli manyane ka practice but mobika mola qualifications query je mobika mola practical experience mola min no fire nole bam fama no ba regulator tije min be wol be check la and wol be mo kuleti ñi muso e kamin fo brikama ya sembo di wala le ko ini da dimbaya ali case le soto jang ka mansakunda saman ka samani ini ta care la time in appointment do wo care ye fail bari ni dola mol ni o kusifal dundi kun kono dron isa foko nono nga ko tunu alabul ndefa nga molon mi alon ko medical negligence la fa while ndebe Gambia ya abadi wol yala case be fonye but obviously ita follow no mole ko alni maril samba court because it all for yalo ko court case le be bulteti bari bika song mol bika song e ka follow ngatu alabul andum wonyanta change yade nyingatu alabul the more ka for drone the more we make our government irresponsible and the more we make our government disconnected from the daily challenges and in the daily troubles and in the daily problems.
Sal baraka balafa waratale comme Gambia nol walka mira ngamira alabe tolida male tolida makani tolita tamu alati fe wo fen be kanyo account kuo kunko ala lombare nyimbanko limbe min kan be kana bore jandami pour ka balu kendo soto and we are having a better life here. Welcome your account le wali ala bondi because ya lonne ko ala tools be dila la pour ka decision o make nyanta minkela nyinu dolo ya lonne nyanta minkela manyanda minkela ya lonne but tawla ya lo mani sa ke they get away with it mote ku fola mote ku kelela komi ya for prosecution tije te mobile te molala sitale bulo kono the next day how can you do this yen yinken yeta ite ni dimbaya ni la muso si ali domoroke watare bota godo le la sister fakang just ila negligence la fa wo yalo so jannim bitala mbe mfawla muso nakebala muso awa to rekinde Mr. Kintela muso mba konton na fanan bal mol salam alaykum la programme o nyinto salif nyin case studies is important pour ngeta nge funding because you don't water mamme ni musudo manta tawfala because ya to blankly but ate biring ay complication no soto doctor sol ya fala moli ala moli findita mol kay e blood ni fengole yes e most of them nati dono ke e donation o min ke blood but the sadly transfusion o min yanta kake e ko doctor no sol ko nyinata won so they didn't do transfusion so atuta wole nyama and then a gapsta fala blood pressure be gita by the time it all bakala mudale is too late ko ka rospur ka wala transfusion only fe wala kedro she just died she just died how can this be God how can just this be alale nyinke and all those things in the hospital or femo fen nebika and another one from Banjuni hospital I sabanding wala soto neo sabandingo soto you will expect ko be o mari mutala jele fotili kil bara wuluta wulungo minna awoso modre kai say bleeding man stop and all those things see bled completely a bled to death the name text there another muruwata is too late so nyine man happen na sal go ahead
no imanyana happen at all because yaje musola gestation period katala for 9 months mo be le wolo but during that 9 months nyanta resources put la into while musul be pregnant rate ni came ko jandro. Let's take an example before musoy wulu ni konomata ike midwife solo and any community workers any ka rapport build le ye fenkendi ye hakilo sabatendi ko la ya explain ye wulu ka kenya dile sako nyim first time wulu la yalla wol ni tawo reassurance falla ano fana so keno Gambia so keno le very easily kana mol nyim first time wulu la career show about pregnancy ka kenya dile ni be wulula ika need munella mol ye be kafun nyokam pour on the day nintingo ye ma ni edundi ku kane kumba satara ya londe mimbe kere bari ni motata loptano to tenting anda wuluta dim flow nata ali wo landiji ñu fama ya katale fam because ngado fanam fama moy iman sonna wo landila jede wo din sabale ba kono ful ay flow wulo ima don ko sabanjango bije ya bulatat at least ñun don wol fele wo landiji le for the following day mune fenketa wala pour nali ni moyo dim fula wulo andu ala fenko ala physical health checks ali will be check and ali yaje ko there is some abnormality about them ali ala blood cool check because obviously wulo ni yele bongole kana so yes. Most ya for evidence jamal le be janjanding blood data ko hemorrhage normally wala ka the main cause pour musul bango tingoto ni ka yelo bombon ni muso jinalia mi anon ka jita wulo anda fulale jolong alma lon ko sabanjang ba kono alka wobula aita o muso e fula jolong andon alma je a change la presentation man change fali aje ko hansani aboko ko don dingol be momen ko uta ifanance sobi ya foko enko yamira dote nyin kono ba yamande wister do kala nyinna ba yamande modo kala nana ndola makamo man futa min do pour woyena anu yejaje Ebrima wofana is one of the worst systems in the Gambia and ibika je healthcare being irresponsible to demanding a healthcare system me alonko among on call system so that ni junior nurse bija wala junior doctor I problem so pro ayo emergency access so no immediately to a consultant afa ko nko boss ini mboro ina jande nyimbe mbulu jande nga nyinne ke but it doesn't seem to have done the trick nga nyinne miro ko there is something complicated about this woman ndema melong ifana ye bor nampang ya jibeba wo system si faltige and will be lifeless safe so really with regards to maternal mortality it's a deliberate attempt can the mol neglect bi gambiano mimbe palaso to yaje mol be nyim boro bela moko fallo tano to ni finita bande se moto tarat park rinje mi alon ko is $4 million and nyimi bota fakal loptano da ni teyelo minna nin Gambia government fango nyamenda ibe banku kende jamale jela mi alon ka man blood bank so to pour ala citizens ibe banku kende jamale jela mi alon ka man a whole department mi alon ko amam blood bank so to bank kokodo ka mabo nyamin bank yelo fanan nyanta mabo wala nyama ala banko do pour ni monata ala grupo abe sulare ala grupo yelo la isa nyika banku dinna nyanto lo wot isa nyika ya dunda mari balo ko na fane balu komo bebe baluri nyami wo bala fatiya amant soto Gambia morals man soto Gambia discipline man soto Gambia Gambianul fon la life be tinyakan be siring ibe jelal because wala mot iti fon ni la conscience yaje ko muso fate bulu mi alon ka manya na fal munani tata suokon ite kumbola bang ibina sela no do ku ladol kote ke afsomo ite sela nan bari mo wo conscience so nimol mo wo conscience sifa so ni tele kamolu karandi ise bono wo joya kono nyami because joya lom nyente joya man tambe nyene de molura healthcare system mini big healthcare system mini marital ye mol enslavely in terms of more proper access and safe access to healthcare facilities in our country. Yang enslaved in our own countries because it only ko ni tola musolbe wulule kabulu abroad. It wulula one of nyel loptanol. Yo nila family problem so they can send abroad for treatment. So how dishonest I mean how distrusting can these people be under our eyes? So that's what in the nation we need to keep asking ourselves. Nyumin be nyedo ku dal tum fango dingol banko la ko do yemini karandi fo e sita bi la puri fanan e sentol na fano e mantaran na fala muna batina la wonyanta kala bi ndo so bondino wo joya bondino fankan na nyaade le bi asita wo joya la sainde mo be ake ila business od nyi manke mo kilina business od sate ya long another story long about ni maternal mortality and amanya na kala wonyam ndol mu banku ndingol ti as I said earlier on 2 million dama not ko yenda resources allocate properly yenda resources distribute properly ye marandina resources la properly wallahi Gambia would be the happiest state in West Africa yo Sierra Leone fango jibe Sierra Leone Mauritania Gambia Mali Lesotho Chad the world's highest maternal mortality rates also. So could you believe? And when you don't pay, there are small populations, even big populations. So why can we not invest in healthcare? Nima bay investment, but parts of many along code, they are a risk to life. And so we'll put aside okay, this serum, it is $200 to sort of purula kajang run properly. Sign back $400. Inga example le did wrong. It's a healthcare service, a delivery, another thing bay. It's a bay compartmentalized. Ye prioritize note. Ya for okay, wuludlamu a risk to life let. How can we make it better for women many along the jikila system or purkanaka wuluja?
Sala baraka bake. Thank you for that analysis. The continual analysis la purunga nyo karandi. Puru molka na jeko, ala leka nyinke, ni la mo tata nyinsi fala. Somebody need to set this example. Ye government challenge, or leadership. Because nyimbe mu leadership leti. Ndolma nyana ka nyo saban nyim politics nyo sabola. Na interest mu minti banko e dada. Because ni wonde hanin tol min bije cover ta nyaaw nya ni tata Gambia. Ni sasata je, it's a dead trap for you, it care no, janning sasa dol bije jang kajel NHS, ambulance time lekatara pour ni akumanda nyanta futale la watu minna pour is immediate medical attention so. Bani woka la Gambia pour ite fly dindila no yene na fe nanjam quickly. Ni nyanta fala you will easily going to go. But Gambia fe ofe mantare je ni tata woto ni COVID nyanta fe land na from the government nyanta land na a lot from ni COVID. Ya alon ko dunia as a soron nole na soron ta fankum lo. Mo ile tule ya ale to foi mu ministality because nintaro no COVID me wato I vice president muta. Ninta no COVID wato de tendu ya flew out. Afinita nata ko kan jara dulato. But there was nowhere to go. But then in Bitala Bendoma Konton Ahmed Aliou Scatrell la Fadambe Konton na program moto Khadija Meko death related to medical negligence is on the rise in the Gambia, and it's really sad. No matter what legal advice some people receive, they wouldn't take it further. It's down to our culture, really. Misal bajom fang no musol bi berandin jam baba gele kore man na sunkuto le jibe jang Salifu ko. Thanks darling Ebrima, this is sad indeed. There's nothing in our hospital and clinic, poor health system. People are dying every day, which is true, and our cater also is saying na health system fail and in fang koto man jundu fanambe konto na ko thank you Uncle Sal jundu juara. So some of the issues to me have ended. So more they are involved. Ni one day ni la family goes to Gambia sasaring, they will not take care of you. Ni alame makoi either ila way out bu Senegal lady or janne fly up to this place. You're gone, But handling the safety. Almost 99% of who you are bading on baby in Dulale, you have to rush to Senegal. Ngaje Senegal, what is happening there today? So you take a priority le government me ya lon ko ma ambulance o sanno kalandi gunjo government moto tay kadi mola me ya lon ko te bota nyim banko le kan and you laugh ko moto le dite la ika kontani wala bar ambulance man tara wo banko fam ni ba sa ta wo dulato ni man tara on town is likely moto ko ba fala le janna futa birika mo la fanna futa dulato to wo yalo or any of your bading on so nyim mira sifa le nyanta wolle tala pour nga mira at acceptable lano moeta e wulu dinu kulli o nyanta kala lungo minna wolu no mutili woro wulo ti wo muso fanana fenkelo and do be happen in Gambia all the time bleeding nomu yellow na man soto poor network lam or state care man soto dulali to and all niko nita dan dolla gunjur hospital do wol mu bum furin kensen wala mi ya lon ko they are there for long time. And the paracetamol because so somebody need to take responsibility. The box has to start with the government.
Oh, definitely.
So yes, hand it on politics. Let it be politics. But when in politics, like as political decision, kasabu mol kafa, or ye live longer, or ye life chance improve. Then we have to get involved in this political discussion. Sally, but another thing is, new case stories are so important. New young doctor, Dr. Manneh, me alone, you know him very well. You know, promising your man, doctor oka produce, ado ada nyawnya, it will take you. And of course, you know, medical course from 6 years, katasanto, you know, akawoleta. You know, Dr. Mansodo Gambia, ni ajibe na mola percentage to one doctor killing yantam ni ali mo wuli jelo. Exactly, doctor killing. So wole man yenna fala wole nyama. This doctor, these private hospitals again. Nyanta nyim private, don't mean be diaspora, nyim private hospital nye boycotting.
Exactly.
You know, because you will expect ko ni aje ka kodu bajo nyim private hospital. It only better at a hospital. Mina nani it only complication or sort of then. Ida man so ila moli sambala dami tolka o samba wodula to take care of him. You know, this boy, you know, operation okala a very promising doctor me along ko, you know, and all those things. Ima jibe ko oxygen no nita amount of oxygen minna ima wo jibe dunta operation okon oxygen tada ko halfway oxygen no band. You know, minke mam mo fan commande text lesson ila one of the friend called another hospital for gas or balbulo ko oxygen just air mara. And then, you know, what 2 hours later, and automatically the man died, you know? You know? Salary, what story you might have something about it.
Again, it makes you wonder though, Dr. Ofanka fa theater tabulo kan, and amonyo Dr. Olebeloring okuntu. And ima a look after komoko your code of conduct may sign ko every patient, iba look after 110%. Because he have failed. Ala colleague doctors ya fail ya wolum health la problem what near more fail health wise aka cost ala life la and life don't know tata that said could ka jono le bagasol ka jono but ni life tata so imang cautious enough imang proactive enough kaje ko before operation of start be need la mu fengol wo fengol baby jande bang in case things went wrong, you know, imang wo precaution ulta and they let him down, and I'm sure not to be baluri atete wo sifa kelela knowing maybe who he is, you know. So again, Ebrima, it comes down to Gambiano la fisiru walea man kaya nyola at all akajara nyefang kuru, you know, 5 million moto borindi nano molmin be loptano do jane befa yoni tata loptano to hani laran kenso min fam laran kenso moti nin do bota larinje yelaran kam fano ni lokide se laran kam fano ko ya samba kutama samba na ye ofene ni man loki ibe fayla wala fanankan ido kurande mo be laram campagne senior woni noringo bond la nyoto ite bond la nyoto bari nying ethics te kuoku kono aning etike ate kuoku kono amam betea hanamba dingola nyanto ntol bi ni tata loptano to loptani dokula mini bije fodi manta bentede e ben adokula kendo fe min se balafa soto bor mini etike soto wolom nyenti ko yemo mutako ibe wulula fa mutala nyame ya nyanto diala ya bismillah abe woririm fengo fenna ina ya kacha yari a show ya fa ko ibe jandamin a safe tale mdol ba tala by all means ko ya tinna ko wolom ila jata kenda ya bunda dimba make sure la ko ya be soto jang. But in private hospitals, ni tata je fango next time in Gambia, if fango sambaje taman lo dro, yeta killing fula sabato. Nini be kachale ko yamera mole ka faja. Oh no, mobi ka faja because mobi ka faja mune osabu. Ni aje ko I critical dal dro ala transfer banjo. Ika wole akatara yete la kodota andung iman jararo min dila. Ni jararo min dila ni obondila kododo ila kodito yale nyanta usendile la. Ebe ka kodi dila pirini mimbita ifon le bela motul ni fon be arena pour kata banjul anda buka tara fanko ye mole call banjul de ka fa ko look nga kari so nga complication karle so jang kanyi mari rifa nan janneto no communication systems between private hospitals and Edward Francis Hospital is very bad, it's very poor. Ike fay moto ko no yeta assuming ko ni fota jebe mole jal nima moja to le to minin na mol min yaron ko ni aje bikata loktan ni aje to loktan e je ni dol bi jeta lo ne kan ibe dunna loktan o fama bunda da jamal to be fintla bunda da jamal sako mimbe kono so ka time min fam waste ka minin kuranto be bul what time we so found more fall, lack of oxygen, lack of bloods, they are becoming stories many along before can every day. Why can Gambians not do something about this? And in Yabala, you don't need to conduct any research. Why are people dying from maternal mortality at this rate? The key issue is a hemorrhage. Muna masakunda blood bank so puru blood supply. Akataraje while ibenin doko la nini taldrong ya sabana ya dia marila immediately. Oxygen the same. Nibe mo operate la. Ika lonne ko nyinkari oxygen tank car nangam car would be satisfactory in the event things go pear-shaped, So, honey, doctors should know through a medical education co. In the event imo operate can and oxygen band. Also kudo kenole pro I air sotono oxygen ka wole breathe nga carbon dioxide fintin. Also ala body also alterations kenole. In the meantime, pour me batina la say breathe no, I say oxygen breathe no. While molbe oxygen nyeneka, tankol nyeneka. It's okay canon. But they never did in this case. And they don't do so in many cases, So now medical practitioners in the Gambia, they are culpable. Many alonko they are involved in cases like this. Well, we cannot forgive them because ila medical training mawofoy. Ila medical training ko mola dignity, ala respect, ala welfare, yellow kunto for. Mimba tinala kana fa wolomi tela main aim wolomi la gold ye bor de la manya na fala ye pengu de la manya na fala ye faral kala amanya na fala Gambia fango jibe ni amoy ko la moye muro lakal there is always a good chance ko at findilana ni amoy fanan ko ila mo ya Burundi Senegal there is always a good chance ko at selana killing ka senang jararin and in Senegal fana why a population of 2 million, Senegal 14 million. Why should we be reliant on Senegal health service? It's expensive, it's costly, it's inconvenient. Akamo found stressful pour kata Senegal. Why should we be doing that? Na banko over 50, 60 years old. Hani sanying. Ntulbi kan na mol found jararum found na banko ka. Ni sasa de kijo ke fara. Ibikalong ni ko ibitala pharmacy olto. Pharmacy kodolo nin kodite bulu you are gone mo fangata bunkono amanta no medical facility access no aka dehydrate fa bunkono ni na wulu nyol nata ha kare ibe nyaadi la ha mun aka official bari doman be dehydrate kan mol fankan lo ikunto ifang dobi je fang wulu nyol de ini wulu de instead of ya fo ko ibe la fla jiral ba nga jio sambay na yemim bang wala ngi ma koy prier ku bang ibike offer aussi falbe Gambiano ning amonyo Gambiano disconnect up to a point where ni mobe fala fango we don't care wo miral kubalti.
Yes, I think Sal Abaraka Bake self-assessment yantakela ntol mumela. Sasa to kakea Gambia ni sasa ta doron they condemn you to death. Ye bulaje kandobe keri ye fai wo bun kono be dibo kono je and all those things ye nyimim for I have a family member me along currently Abelari Hospital and dehydration is one of the major issues. And the wofa mankala issue because a boy tale keba lomoate I fracture soto, but it tata yamire DJ 7 pint of water within 3 days because of the dehydration of our money, another 3 pints of blood. So nobody cares. Ni nate domoro fai koto mano imai koi malafi then mote of alafe again. So we need to talk to our families. We need to talk to our people. And told me nataja. It's not all about fancifully we go and fly to holidays. Because our responsibility is sort of with our exposure and with our education. Purunga influence sort of more killing minna. We talk to them and put some sense in them because they wanted this cycle will come up here and there. Ni falter into that category, the same thing that happen here. Ni bandita jay itate ko bita retirement in the Gambia, that's the most critical part because ibe kebayari ni be vulnerable line. You need institutions and you need people to take care of you. Ni wolma long iman ke ma empathy from soto, and then that's crazy. Janin bitala Mbelaming Janneh Kontona Fananko Ako, good to see you both. Our nation is lost in her priorities. it is good to discuss and expose our government's ineptitude. Our Keta Fananko, nothing seems to be progressing. And and some of the uneducated politicians are playing with people's mind, and equally educated politicians and educated citizenry also. Aladin Junduko, the Gambian people think Allah sent the angels to build the West and let us send the white people to come and settle there. We have worked and loved our country and developed just like the white people. We must put everything on Allah. And we put everything on Allah and fail to understand that Allah doesn't change the condition of the people until they change their own way. Our understanding of religion has caused a lot of problems and affect us to develop. Jakari Dukresi Sefananko, yeah, that's true. If 10 people go to Senegal, maybe 2 will return and 8 will die. So this is what we are saying. This is what we are saying. Once again, we have a very emotional topic to discuss today, because Gambia is continuously and unacceptably, experience high number of maternal death. Most of these things, 99% of them are preventable in our situation. Pregnancy now is reduced to, pregnancy, labor, and deliveries are reduced to life and death. Now there is an apex fear among our young women. They were even considering, if they have their own way, they can produce kids any other way, they will refuse to be pregnant because of what awaits them in the hospitals. Women are dying left and right. These are young women. Young women, they are in their 20s, they are youths, that are dying because of our negligence, because of lack of empathy, because of our government blatantly refusing to finance the health system and use politics around everything. These are some of the things average Gambians should discuss. These are some of the things that we should cry. How can your heart not be touched? Of this myriad of these stories, our young people dying. Not only sometimes dying, they died in pregnancy. The baby died with them. Sometimes they will die and the baby will not survive. So because Nimu first time experience that we are not allegations.
No.
Currently, I have somebody me alonka wuluta adingo ya alonko ama adasatale. I ning blockage Lesotho and all those things. So they are some cesarean. And the kids, very I think it luckily at the jail followed, But I bleeding, so the continuous bleeding, you quite basambala. But didn't know I samba into incubation or kono. But if I'm enough incubation also to didn't know is doing well, yate bondi J incubator kono put a chance the mini lock situation of war style. And the baby died. The baby just died. And ima ofan for way not to do kai kung bulayeta, in all those things. Amalo. What are the far for the gunjuru la na long carding of fatale way? This is Yaola Moli call Wole de Nano Tata Bade Joshua J. Was said the Hogunjur, thinking Guading of incubator Konajina Murunda na Fenke. So these are the situations. How can this be acceptable?
No,
these are the situations, Niavo. Let's nobody be scared. This is a political responsibility. This is a leadership failure. For motor solflano for a government led by the president Gamini vote in. Nindaranu model lebe position to welfare we will just say it because na tax lejo dol kan na kodo ta na life bait and dem bela power ngadi in the hand of mo kilim pura ya manage. Wo mo le nyanta nying address la ntolete nying address la no. But what we are saying is they are not addressing these things. Salanga nyini mimbe fo nyimfa mu fesiari ngoli ba onyi mu banjun ne sere kundan tol ka nyinde. But let's go to Basse Wolma the rural areas, how the situation should be there in those areas where because a chronicle report just last year, on record, many year long kabela record bala, it got nearly 39 women. You let taraje many year long ko
fele ila Wi-Fi lay fail. Yes, any report, even report bir refakan. I've got some numbers from it as well. Akejele ko lost mothers. Ngamira that's the report me Dr. Mamadi Cham feature aning Minister of Health Mr. Samate. So Yes. Maternal mortality, UNICEF found a records 2018 survey. I tandiko under 5 mortality 57 in every 1,000 under 5s. New live births and infant mortality will be 41 in every 1,000. Neonatal mortality is at 31% per 1,000. Your maternal mortality ratio will be 433 stroke 100,000. So it accounts for 36% of all deaths among women aged between 15 and 49. 36%. Wala mnyendiko niye musu kemel londijang. Isa ajeko musu tansaba ane musu woro. Wolle banta min yalon ko they are aged between 15 and 49. Wolle banta nying tingo wato kon. So really, yung kusifa lamang acceptable. Until be Gambia tembo minto be. We have people, many along they've got the morals, they've got the ethics, they've got the technological know-how. Puruka na banko fenjama bije puruke fale. Biite nula no mola nim problemo be kere. Anu nim problemo fana manke problem ti mose min nuno. Fo mol ye funtina yadiamu and mol be funtila nyaade na keta sate wo sate to al funtina alita al kaloya alita health center ali alla minister of health ali ya muta to account ali ya fo alla al kaloy ko bisuno be sate ko no katum na funding ke muso atata pour tingo damala pour ka wulu afela fata andum sobita ko ima to pato ala nyanto ima diala ali o kumul futandi alkalol la sate o sate nim kol kera sate o sate to mol nyande ko funtina ye ben ka ben karambungol to ka sungudundingol karandi timuto kenyal ka karamuto dindingol boysol ning galsol kanyin dundi kunkono ko wulo mu natural process let amanke courant nin ko be ba nyama mo se wulu no le without needing anybody's support ne aje mol kan need mola support la drone wulu la to drone alon ko la wulu complicated so mol mini alon ko ya londo sodo wolle nyanda tarla woddo ko bundu dalto pour que mol prevent from having war catastrophic deaths but 36% of all deaths among women aged between 15 and 49 maternal mortality low cause you lost mothers featuring Dr. Mamadi Chamaning, Minister of Health Samate. Ebrima ka wo document min fono about how le balanu. Bari min famu big problem. Mol be serious wo kono dol be kachadula also ni nyum ko kere drong mol ye nyina completely kan neket. Bari nyantan ka kacha nim VDC be sate o sate do. VDC nyanta ka health topics odo o health topic fana isa sambanang puru isate molu kachande ya fo sate mole ko mbe fele jande momo ka sula jata kende mola jata kende wolom priority number 1 ni la jato man kende itital no do ko wala yo anim bi fana Gambia be nyami jata kende ning domoro le be kuntakere mola domoro man sonia Gambia molu ka konkole Gambia so ni man domor kendo domo there is a good chance ko niman domor kendo domo there is a good chance ko ila jata kende ate betel so niman domor kendo domo there is a good chance ko hani mo toto te dala drong ning kolle bala isa nyika so Ebrima can you report me for one of Mamadi Cham ning Dr. Samate feature tamin I in the foko 36% of all deaths among women aged between 15 and 49 maternal mortality was up 36%. Yoninada Sangolmin Tambita, 2017, 597, 2016, 611, 2015, 625, 2014, 637. But then be jibe, why you mo baby fala, mo be keko kute kere? Why? Muna nyanta kela na bankoka. Muna nyanta soto. So Ebrima ngami fo ko ma wala nyente ko na keta sate o sate mo nyanta findla na yeta alkaloya yetela schoolol to yeta no skunda ye meetingol ke ya foko look nyimman acceptable ndol de sonna na fonninke musolo ndol lafta na fonninke musol be dimbaya jam yo ni VDC be meetingol la ye health issues yoli ye kacha ye bring to the forefront ye report will compile together ye samba to the minister concerned kila ila position, ila feelings, ila worries, ila anxieties, to make them known. Be tilo be jamano nyimang acceptable. More manyana kodo putla before lives because nyimu want. So ka wuludla dada gunjur, ka dada sukuda, wuludla be sukuda. Anu nyim satel min baby around sukuda. Ibe kana wulu sukuda clinical, and ni kunde wo bungo fankono. Yina foko nyim population no min baby janno me wuludla. It's crazy, So amanyana kela. So man
Yes.
help prioritize. Imantra any investment kela. But there are certain truths about maternal deaths. Ngabra nyento fanam brinna to the forefront. Prumolia understand. Follow. Nyinko dela ko. Mol ni be wulula. Ika need yellow. Wo yellow ala manko do bije wole kela life put at risk. Omu number one nete. Jama. Alon ko wuko fanam musdol ka bridge soto. Me alon ko dindingo bikana canal kono anyanta nala nyame. So aka bridge. So in which case do bije can need cesarean la. And obviously womu medical doctor la do quality and what nyanta wokel. Good midwives fanam bijele. Many alon ko they are exceptionally good. And what be the system of function? Nit jama balla nit na sate dindingol. Ngenya tilindi midwifery la. Issues like midwifery. Jata kende ya bundla doctors. Lab cool tilindi jata kende ya bundula karangola so that nsafo ko ibe la hido le tala nyeko nite qualification soto wali benyin ibe na sate safla la ninna banko ibe tulanye jande damandi ngela tine domo jandi etano dawde lafta tala dami ibe la hido tala nyi o sifal bar mon nyanta nga o kacha sifal so VDC ni sate dingol ko kacha sifal so ye dingol encourage to get into medical professions, nursing wo, medicine wo, lab doctor mo, scientist research mo, koku. The other thing for them lack of blood donors. Yeah, they need a blood mankita. Wo point to critical battle. So ni ma moso to me alonko itela blood group ani wala blood group mankile. The longer it takes pruka ila blood donor identify pruka blood bondi wo kono foka dundi kono. The longer it takes, the worse the situation becomes. And what be say prevent not. Nim mo namana wulula ya jibe hanibe tick box ole dada. Ye tick ya fogo okay nga enough oxygen soto jandeba, nga enough blood soto jandeba, nga dono killing fula soto ready standby in the just in case need telaba. Osifal be is o ticky list to be muso nying minjina wulu nga kachandile bang nga riashole bang nga I been bang kuraka domoro ke aniobe tora rinde bang o kusifal ben se be tick box nge be tick nga be make sure ko nge kele while in process of caring the other thing fanang is ma well trained staff so well trained staff again lack of investment government can invest in training people to become midwives ila nursing takes are always poor ni no so le do ko so te meto do ko la e kata private sector because man sakunda bike jo no speak la fiebo kombo eta do ko la bolongono andu be mu banko kilin dingol le so why imam bolongono ke receptive ye bolongono jo betiandi bolongono domorol betiandi no so le anen teacher le pour mol ke kontilingel the other thing fanang is mol man empathy so mol man compassion so mol man passion so nimbe na molu karandila about medical doctors no solu lab dokulal health dokulal nimbe VDC meeting wala nga itandi mo bela ko akumaya tale hadamadi ye hinanteya so and wo hinanteya comes with ethics, it comes with culture, it comes with education, it comes with leadership nga dundi molu kungono ko ndolma nit kata fenyini banda famo bebe mbulu jan ngam fango karandi ba mini ya londo soto ni esi nga kacha bang yen so londo la pour mfanan se fam protect nyami kadri man sakunda man community protect community fanan nyanta initiatives lekela mi atene fanan se fam protect e fam dundi mbajo kono pour doko kanema the other thing fanan is na healthcare system is one of the weakest healthcare systems in the whole world because here you have a small population from only a tiny proportion of that population will can need a healthcare system like year in year out, and you are not able to look after them. Na elderly care, na elderly people, jibel. Nke fili families level, more ka dementia fang soto we can understand. moka kebaya suwo kono demencho bala akatra yaila akatamba fon la kordala dala bika sute abika dingol sute ama maringol be jelala and I had problem so nina mansa kunda mu mansa kunda te mi yalon ko I foresight so nina mansa kunda mu mansa kunda te mi yalon ko I vision so abe preparations kala nyimmo bele foy mu dena no lati foy mu keba ko to lati bang itela nyanto mu menti nyanta dile la nyadir andu mba dile la muntol to mba dile la suolo kono bang fombe dulale lo la dami yalon ko ni surata la yenaje ngadila yo insufficient finance yalon wo fole before logistical support so ning musobe wulura gunjur wala sukuda andi al suspect ko clinician ika assessment le and jurila assessment you have what is called a risk assessment nitela risk assessment ni tandila ko nyinnom nyinna wulu follow today there is a good chance or there is some chance ko abe complication sotola nga mune soto ready for her yo nga nyinnu be fo ni be take oxygen blood nyol logistically moto bi jande bam mi alonko ase nyimborndino comfortably to Banjul and nabita Banjul fana before ala wuluwe kumas nso mo call Banjul nga fa ko ni be juti la sani nke so bendile ko musu karle be mbulu jande nke call le drone pour ka mpare na complications soto isa lon ko mbe call le mba kila ne ni te be jila fana ya fu modo fana mimbe take over from service. These are small simple practical things nse min keno to prevent. At the end of the day, laughter more than life, laughter will prevent the pura kanafa. Nibe doctor doko, nibe jararo bunda doko. Ila doku yemenke. Ila main aim kakenyineti to prevent harm and to preserve life. Mobi kalafiye kuke mimbe modo fal. Yo, janna diamo jamfo kodeke. Ntol supplies and equipment. My friend, ita loptano fangodo. Paracetamol min famu paracetamol titije. Ngaje gunjuri ya kampanyo kenu. Collecting paracetamol pour ka send gunjur loptano. Yo, loptan dol fanan keken. But munatina ni equipment dunta loptano to min boko gunjur o sukuta. Muna bika last long. Molu ka chikanyo kodo ka samba ya sambe la private services to. You know, what happened with medical supplies? Medical supplies banjul. Fembika bormanko tariandi fowo. Because mo be ka dan mo sa sunyano pour ka samba ila private facility pour o private facility e Gambia dingol fa charge wala ko di bala pour ya dealer so tout man ethics soto ani morals abe la krimpake na healthcare system ko mo membe na healthcare ron kan they lack the ethics, they lack the moral ground, and they lack empathy, passion and compassion. Will lack battle and new old man tara in a healthcare system mo be ka banku din sasato ika mutala ko gulo ibika care ika nyinala nata ko mari natal de anin ko dinding ya lonni ay ko dindin di la jana left right and center isa parakat mo be wulle be nyat la mari bari ni mo molonje aniti mo banku dingol di Gambia do yata so much so that mbele nyolo mbele denta anyway yo the other team fana mu fankolti more me along ko a trained and be in the system opportunity today for them to advance in their careers. So for the miniba katakal inyanta wolu jolale inyante jola kato dangol ya fo ko al nimba al be nyelo la bunda baleto nal tul tijanum bi kunu mon tanne ka faja mbar biya jibe mo kilindron ne ka faja sangosa and thanks to Allah input yo so sani ite fanam ila career ibitala another step. You know, the opportunity create more pour in healthcare ka for me sustenance. So kuflalom sustenance in healthcare, human resource sustenance, equipment sustenance, and in technological know-how sustenance. More many also ibika song ye kanela because ni kanatela drone ye loop bale fliji wo gap bika feel no it would take another number of years to go gaps fill. So Mawo trained staff sort of many along they are circulating within the system la demand ka shock. One of the biggest problems. Enough trained staff today, many along they are going round the demanding satisfied. Demanding will not be satisfied for another 5-10 years. Name instruments put in place, Sani. It's simple economics. Supply, simple economics law. Yo, aning fenko na referral system ngam inform before ni moy complications soto there should be a proper well organized logistically correct referral system mi alon ko any junior officer would follow that system to the letter so that nyimari mi alon ko life is at risk a good referral system would prevent them from dying so ñu nam kumol tinga min start non ke diamu Ibrahima while tata off
yes sala baraka bake mbe jiberal kontonna awaketa Toure keta sambe Toure bondila jele nga dinkinte damato do ako you are right even the educated politician too Usman Jundu Toure ko the worst part of this whole thing is they don't even know statistics of the number of women dying every day. If you go to Basse area, the number is higher than they are reporting, which is true. And Jetu Kamara says that's true. Joko Jones, say, brother, you are all right in everything you are saying. I am praying for the President Adama to have and listen to you guys. Yeah, in politicians, they don't listen. Phone tolling a praise or tanga lafay kang, you know, and so this in begging questions. Phone tolling mu musilme sifal le at the end of the day. Ba on tolinga mira misilme ya muyeta jame utoye na sayina yesu nguyena and we clap ourselves and all those things. But nying jawya nying lack of empathy anin ka supply of sunya hani sasa tolla domoro ika sunya nyoko tole moro hani sasa tolla domoro ika munede be mo su sala nyoko ne government na kodol nim fengolta and you brace yourself iko ite misiri mol. How can you just be muside mumbara la kila membe banko be sasa tola kodo min sunya ya tawo blokon and this is so sad and ye nyimim fo na kebalo na fengol malum fam be manage la nyami wala na kebalo don't last people don't last once moli yalo ko kodite bulokono there's no care for you just died kebaya wo yalo ya filije malum fam iba take care la nyami. These are sad situations, really. Me alone can be happening. And assess. Let's assess ourselves. Do we, because nin cultural thing, nin tol nata jankaranta exposed time, be nim banko kan, be ni NHS enjoy. Because I have been in the NHS for 4 years. These people don't know me. But ngaje empathy means so they ka borrow means so and they are talking to me ko idingole fam munti when I was in this hospital. You don't even know. These people don't know me. When they are coming, it's a Kenya onya, they give you hope. Benyin kale la vitamina for mu misili multi na mosambe na min misili me kachale for ila for mu Christian multi and all. This is what happened one ni melo. Some from other soul in the world do lot benga nyolo nin kachato to mandi we know who is this. Exactly. Then something must be wrong. Intol Gambia no lo yalo. So I think all the time nintol fanam bitala we assess and say min kenon say mun impact le talking to people going to Dulalto not only to go and party and come back ni finije. Because at the end of the day, ila molle be fala and we fana one day ni me lo be bulalo situations and you might not leave. This is so sad, really. But I think we're going to come back to Maternal because it's going to continue and because there's no mechanism pour can address at the moment. So for now, it's going to continue. Sadly, our women are going to die at labor, at pregnancy, at delivery. They're going to die. The kids and the babies are going to die too because electricity, molkatara incubation or kono kurang oifa. Nim kurang fa da Gambia be kandiri nyaming dinni they die. They don't report these things, sir. I spoke to somebody not long ago. Because because of geoman soto there's no water at the moment.
A chaotic battle.
It's chaotic. It's just chaotic,
Unnecessarily.
Yes, we're going to switch off anyway to new drug war because we need to talk about the drug issues. And in the time when maybe not technician will be allowed a time when they put a new drug war. Bao na new dialogue with the youths long funding ke la kuola. Drug amount of minata Gambia 3 ton. Dunia da woman ke drug undin. Sabu Gambia la size benyami. Babality of millions of Gambian dollars. It's American dollars for it UK be at the millions and billions of wallet.
Yeah.
In Droko, adanna tambisi ada ngalon ko tonya nyin drogo bete wafula no Gambia might be ake transit lady but ni ake transit word lato then some of these drugs will melt into the society funding kelu mi ya lon ko ya mira ko funding ke ya mu fen sabole ta ninka sira lo maninka and all those things they get tempted and get into this ala implications in mental health in crime but then you drug do fang then bol seize and you drug ko nata like NDEA wala ma notice Interpol wale alert ko nyin drug wala bije you need to so man choice so is ni one is likely drug on nyimbe dunna but then you don't kana nga Lebanese businessman o mi ya lonko another call na fe nan ko jama but I drug ko le ko call mu me be ko what NDA ma they didn't it all ma detect but ya lo ko mu di leti ni aje nyini be kana mo labor so min be duno ka fe ngo duno ka samba wala ya detect then bira fin detect no te man choice so but biri yeta ye muta yeta ye be after 1 year justice minister nata ko ima enough evidence to put all prosecute that's it so he's saying hide and j droko keda nyami malo if ima enough evidence to court le nyanta wo decide la no justice minister come out and say it's about code evidence mi bije momi na container fe nan droko le bo container kono and I simply know la title o min di woman ke droko ra ko kolom wot so droko na take them to court but it enough evidence after 1 year also a Moroccan has nin taija o mi ya lonko dinwol niata it shocks you getting your mental health wolo dunta banko kam wo fanan the same thing ye bail ye muta hani 24 hours ye bail hani bi wo bail ro wala be kere man fe moy wo nin don fana hela keta government man kuma fo hani sai they didn't come out. Today is about nearly 27 days or 24 days. Kabiri Nyundroko Nata. It's about 27th of December Nyundroko Jita idea. Ima report for about nearly on the 7th or on the 8th or on the 3rd what the Droko Fang Lakure. Hani be ima any substantial arrest ke government man for interior ministry man for man for Drokola abeje wala nya. Social, the implication for kids, for youths, and in mental health and in crime. Go ahead.
Yeah, I recollect from 2010, Bonto drugs.
Yes.
Often tata tetile, akeda history titentile, momalong will be doing the damage. Obviously, illicit drugs, problem balum, be nabanko a funding kill, they are at risk because nenenga kaja sotojang kaitandiko na Gambia population is a youthful population. And for that matter, 60% of the population funding kilmini along they are under 25. So and jama ni illicit drug use lalje ikatarawo age categories lekono like 15 kata 35 new. Let me break down some statistics for you. Nyimboda ECOWAS la regional action plan dom ya national survey ke Gambia le yake in all the ECOWAS countries like so you don't mu Gambia talti ye grade 11 students ye wolle ta 3,254 of them from 71 public schools and 9 private senior secondary schools but 55% of the participants will be musollet but in that ajeko alcohol use abe up to 13.7% ordinal yemini Soviet ye alcohol minne in the past 12 months. Wow. And 3.62% will they got drunk before age 11. So before 11 pounds this is how bad or how potentially risky anything associated with drugs is in terms of nabanko can be. Near funding la position ojibe. Yo cannabis atulum the most prevalent drug in the Gambia. Cannabis sativa. Dinniwolu milika asabo kumas. Ika asabo kumas at the age of 14.5. Even 15 sort of follow. Atare delta tranquilizers and any sedative drugs. Akatra you will use. And interestingly, girl soul nim boy soul is the same percentage, 14.35 per female and 14.12 per male.
Wow.
It's crazy. Out of 3,254 and from a pool of 71 public schools and in 9 private schools. So this is very alarming. So when it comes to cocaine, yalo cocaine mo recreational druglet, and that fananka use back jang in rich countries because mo jama yala daka koleal. So cannabis le daka dia cocaine. But ngalon konani cannabis mo daka lenti drug. Abena funding kill be yela mandela into cocaine users. Thank God, idaman killing. But cocaine 2.75%. Only a cocaine trial before, and on 40.23%. Wolko yalo ne cocaine moment. So ni ko yalo ne cocaine moment. Or there is a good chance ko ya trial, and that's 40.23%. Dinding the minimum grade 11 in the Gambia. So ye recommendation jamal le fintindina nyi survey ko mansakunda nyanta luwa ko ngol lala je family support etc. But bidala wo kachala in terms of mol se menekeno can funding kill prevent from nying indulgence into nying life threatening drug use because it's very life threatening. Yo ni bota woto fanan Ibrahim drugs mimbe banko can be Ming mu mola worried. Nimu a medical practitioner ti fuemu police ti fuemu interior doculalti fuemu ibe in an other public capacity or private capacity. Minka kela worried. Nyin drugs follow adunta banko kanyadir. Yo flanjam na nata num banko kan successfully. Abele be findi la bank fodo be tulaje. Mimbe tulaje jamal legita use. It will come down to the funding cap. So near a risk assessment conduct of nying haulage mimbelari na Bangkoka. I am deeply disappointed ko ima sambanang IK national news every day. Kamolri ashoko nimbelari ndami fanga be safe rene ate sunyal. So we more reassurances den. Yo nimbelari ndami niko 3 tons le bije nitareje soma ibe 3 tons le tarlaje. 110%. Or reassurance tije. So min ka manke min be ka busuje natuta na banko kan. Ajita muneke na funding kella. Ase mo be ke drug malat. And we kela masibo menti mfauta kala bulandilano. Yo ni puta je yena drug induced psychosis. Wala mnyenti ko funding kella many nyakama as a result of drug use. Dobije clinician olumbuka along 4 nyimari 5 drug use ama use wo they are heading towards nyama either genetically psychosocially or there is something about them there is a marker about them me I tandi ko ejita mental health problems will develop anyway they are going to become psychotic so ma long 4 nyimolu ye drug my mama they will develop psychosis mawolo but nga nyilom fananko doli drugs lema wala tina psychosis findide kono because psychosis mantare la family to ima genetically ni the history ji baby ka jeje socially ni family dynamics ji baby ka jeje yo the worry is though drug induced psychosis is on the increase in the Gambia nanga some statistics deal wo fanan Kabo March 2019, kata February 2020, mon mini alonko e presenta tanka lom na mental health hospital. Wala tanka la outpatients department, Serakunda Hospital or Banjul. All patients, a total for 336. Patient kotol, mini alonko, they will tell me revolving door. Near discharge be, you can guarantee between 4 to 6 weeks. They'll be readmitted again to Tanka. And really, Tanka, moment la fi ila mole na je what. Lafta nyinda la ni mole mental health problems so nge manage no in the community le better yetara no community stigma itala fango wulunyol ke topato wala fango wulunyol ni ka kacha career show ka confidence dealer etc mbebe la flawon but guess what new patients many alonko ima history so they presented newly a total for 337. So 100% increase, in terms of all patients and new patients. So it's a big worry. 685 patients, what you will record between March 2019 and in February 2020. Tanka has a capacity of 100 beds and I can file all the time. And you can guarantee 75% of patient population per period of time have an underlying drug-induced psychosis or near la history kisikis some features sort of associated with drugs. So this is how vulnerable and how risky the whole issue of drugs in the country being faced. You need at age distribution wise, 15 to 35-year-old, almost 546 patients led. Many along they are over 35, almost 139 led. So I give you a drug, a small population, member control population. You need at regionally, central region, lower river region, North Bank region, upper river region, abewol betole. But yes, region full jamalum the worst when it comes to drugs is West Coast region 1 and 2. West Coast region 1 and 2, one of the highest incidents of drug-induced psychosis. I don't know why, because social problems all Seattle world. Nin drugs mean be like in Gambia. Drugs or drugs to the Gambia. Along ko na be consume within the greater Banjul area. Banjul, KMC, West Coast 1, West Coast 2. Mini bitala bolonkono, maybe dol bitala bolonkono, but ati siala ko mini betula ni regional bedu mboda mini dantela tente. So this is why ni regional we are very, very vulnerable to the ill effects of drug use in the community. Because ill effects here battle. Abenda funding care into the population of 60%. In the population is a youthful population. And it's that youthful population yemini nyatili in the drugs la. Ntola banko abe mo resources sotola no say mba built la men. Ala resources man kumaya min tambeta funding care la sembola funding care la miro. Funding care la jata kendea. Mo be alone there's a big difference between ila funding care wato and ila kebaya wato. Eka duno dolo nyika no funding care wato. Ibe ko duno nyika no kebaya wato. So funding care wato long prime area and drugs la infiltration into our country. Abewo funding care la youthfulness. Anila potential, anila feature, about damage can systematically under our plain eyes. What be taken in terms of drugs? And on drugs, ala massive Seattle. Drugs a biological implications sort of because brain disease law. More be brain. What a case samba femobel. What a ke atine nyaka jeroke. What a atine tuloka moiroke. What a atina. Ni moye na mamburola ika fili palokon brain ye area doso de ka fa basal ganglia wolo ka mo motivate pour ye healthy activities pour yeta jimoto yeta schooloto yeta tamantama but ne drugs use akamuneke akayla nying basal ganglia akawole mamandi aya suppress pra kana of motivation si falso so wana ni mo tuta isa jabe daring abe kuma manel befola. So what two be bola bala drone isa jaya nyaayele a bulata molu kon bari ni moka drugs ma bake abika la fiwo feeling sifala because akala feel ka tula drone because a balo anala nyim basal ganglia it dalta wala sign so abala hajo belly nyaka. So this is how bad drugs are. Yo do fanam bije part of the brain fanam bije ikafa extended amygdala. Wala anxiety and irritability, wala ko control, ila emotions, etc. So nika drugs ma, akanyul dole neutralize, So ila hadamadiya, wala nakabo anoto, ni mo drugs ma, abika moto borondino. Akanyin confidence odo kombe driving kelano. Driving financial skills lo, ila coordination bikata no anyama, ni drugs ma, anin dolo. Yo, purko kumo suti and drone, anin the prefrontal cortex jang one of the bije molka mental health problems so they ka frontal lobe mental illness na moma akela personality bele change ni amari long 20 years ago ni ajebi isa fakolo ko hani nga karemi long 20 years ago moma kenyenti ajibi akamanya amba abika sense of control sotono abika sense of direction sotono abika fon blandino ku kono mi alonko is meaningful so nyindom drugs la tinyarot aka family dynamics will be dundi nyokon mol ka start kanyo hate nika drugs maybe so kono mo beke bon ilo cold because he doluka aggressively doluka beke kodisunyality doluka beke criminal activity pour que ila drugs addiction pruka a service. So what are the drugs na be larin na banko kan? Silata balon in terms of how much access funding chita also to drugs, how much damage, immediate term, medium term, and long term damage, consequences. Ajina mean sambana na banko kan socially, economically, and in from a health perspective. So what are silata balon? So ni moka drugs ma ala fenko abika consistent no abika live no a meaningful life amari bika la potentials achieve no society can marginalize and imagine na marginalize la but as a result of ala drug ma ala behavior can change, they become aggressive, they become it can stand out dal in society, so society fanan bika la feel your family members fanan ke reject, so wastage balance ninga miracle and yin drugs membe seri na banko tema pow, it's a big risk and no risk na mansakunda need to ya assess sign ya formulae munum yemune put in place pour ka minimize and ka prevent completely from happening, because not na banko kan mafa bele jita consumed fengo findu na banko kan a lot of it would be consumed, but immediate term, medium term, and in long term consequential damages from a young person's perspective.
Well said, Sal. Well said. It's scary. The new the future leaders nim funding caring can you for bow the no me roko name dollar mingol kumas covering 14 years. The chances in African context wala balu for pura life expectancy for na continental wala wobe reduce la baba bakela the impact on the health system, the impact on the family and then you know more to me ya lonko it only nyanta na kele ni musoli mini nyanta futula puruka a healthy and a very disciplined and educated family produce in the country ni wolbe jita nyin sifa ke kwame mimbe kere, but always I related this to ourselves and interoni safety ni dingol mubebe nita da Gambia there is every potential me ya lonko after the drug habit feed la man kodo so tete min nata you look good lonko nata la potential is kodo so to nole asefa nole pour ko kodo te bulo kodo because nyama tol lo muyti ase rep nole wala ase kuoku ke noele ase la bago sunya nole ase la femota nole in that struggle ase fa nole woyalo. So these are some of the things. So kana nyimta nga sobel away from ourselves. Nyinda control ninna mol mube basic potential fenkor because sa nga jibe ni musoli debe ibela bikol nyafule bulo kono ibela mobile ol tale bulo kono. These people are drug addicts. Because for ila habit mimi ila habiti ya taya thing. So this wala na important. This is not politics. Drug cartels ñun drogo min nata kodo siata bakel ka smogul ka kanandi abondita dami ngani ka travel ndi dunia kono because bangu sembe mal bebe ñi watch kande baji bela bela is too expensive. Inya mama ya londo ko they have a safe haven in the Gambia mimbe ñi mutale bulo kono ni wanted they are not going to risk, and it has to be somebody who is powerful. You got to be somebody who is powerful, means the assurance there lako ninyin drogo nata ntuluba bondila nole ngata store somewhere ko janna tol bulo be sila. So near Mazakunda soto saying ibe daring moment kumafo conspiracy theory mimbina kang then more bolo mandu mo benyanta silala nyindale. So sabu some of these things prungananga discuss. I think the last word is a mimfono moli because time otarababa kele puru say advice both from the maternity, mortality, death rate, and then you draw and then to approach to politics to more because man interest long malon especially in me travel to nata jang we think we are safe but our families are there. We need to conduct life because dunia be mu politics leti there be prophet wala life lomwo dino lomwo fengo be mu politics ninga mo ya ka ho manke politics and nda man dara politics oto ika jakale fo ya understand dunia fangala ate fangala essence movement fango because ne be prophet ol mi yalo ko dina nyaton ko ni fengo ningi la life better abe political da mality wo yalo we can assess on those things. So puri sen tolmin bijang karanta we need to think we need to know konga responsibility so because this is banko me yalo ko gave everything to us for a chance to know kanaja we need to assess and say minkeno and it's not all the time kakodo ta ka send do all the time. Sometimes it's about ideas and in discipline wala ka banko samba kodu kana follow worker. Salif, go ahead, and we can close it.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Well, social problems, and they sit in the middle of local communities and in local towns and cities. So it is incumbent on all of us, really, to bear a responsibility sort of in this. Mansakunda responsibility sort of obviously I tell very clearly ko Mansakunda bala responsibilities fail can. So control at a community level. Ngami fono earlier on. More nyante kata alkalo ya meeting wala school to meeting wala no skundal to meeting wala. In VDC de bundal tandi VDC. Ko be worry ne ko fonni kel be siya kan ne sate kono min be nyama sabola nyin Johnson also kebabi ka hanyala tambila je ni tambila je ibe nen na ibe harasla laftale ngol be ni wo fonni kel be kacha min be to ya fonye min be mfaranto nga foye. But there needs to be a very, very good, solid, longer lasting community engagement amongst community members. Kala jibe community la problem or community mbe solve la nyadile mba alandila mansakunda nyako to nyadile kaitandiela ko nyuno munde quality, and we want them resolved immediately. When it comes to maternal mortality, we can need quick fix la. You have to be a government minalonko plant, and you have to be a government minalonko ye healthcare prioritizely, and you have built-in financial systems minalonko ila plan A, B, C, D. They would make them achievable, realistically achievable. They are financed without relying on external resources. So own internal resources le jibela nga jibe abe share la nyadi leno equitably between all ning areas community prioritize. Ning health more priority to education more priority. When it comes to maternal mortality, need to train staff level. And train staff because of overnight. Many be in the system. Mansakunda nyante encourage la ase janjandi no dulal to nyadele so that dula killing kana ke a place to be rely la dam improve kana wuluji. Ni be wulula jefana. Isa make so basic things like yellow oxygen. Akana mang. Masakunda found a tribe a department set up. There was one before. Why should it not be reinvented? Through blood bank here, oxygen bank here. These are two commodities that have been costing lives in the Gambia. So why should we not be creative enough? Resolve. Masakunda so resolve can only sign. Near 100 days priority. It's a oxygen sort of blood a blood bank set up immediately. Nintuwe momoto gunjur. Ala logistics very, very clear. Motobelo remember Sambala in the event of complications, But in near GB for traffic from gunjur name Banjul tema sign. Niko traffic be across la kata Banjul. A big waste of time. Why? Muna na doctor will be kata ye bikata on call gunjur scooter brikamanyo where demand is high. Why can they not allocate doctors to those areas? Maybe tarla on call 24 hours. Pruni more need tela yena attend immediately. That kind of innovative ideas, we need to build them into the healthcare system so that the healthcare can be more dynamic, more prosperous, and nil after access la iba tarla jele and is safe. Wokumaya tabakel. Coming back to drugs among young people, nita a jarata fang niman sekunda batala seriously. In the curriculum found, you will educate about the hazards of drugs and alcohol. Kadinul currently from a very young age. Alcohol and drugs are communicate jatol. Ala biological implications, ala social implications, ala long-term implications, and I can't deny it from achieving a lot of potentials. So I just build into the curriculum so that it becomes a reminder daily, profounding Kelly. Ning community meeting will find bekele ka ku kacha no community de ko mendi more manyana borla away from talking about contentious issues ya jole be keri na satel to folo to ka keba kilimo je nay mim fo mo be ka moy so sany wol be man soto but funding kel ben be sate kon al fintinan al na la VDC al molla health discourse molla education discourse nde dama fam afternoon classes o manyana soto la bankoka a benyanta wipe because dinol by the time it afternoon school sino be farela konko be dolla ni jida school dol be jakal rimfo kontonne be suwo kono bang motole be sotole membe ftanda suwo kono bang so lo ifaka jite ki janale baka jita ketendi karan kende tije teachers fana are tired teaching has become boring because among interesting So there is a lot of things more nyanta min jibe la community fonse min jibe no ya jibe fa iba fix la nyami, but there is a lot of things for now which are big responsibilities many along ke be rest kan on the government shoulder moto bundla no what responsibility bundle don't be accused of neglecting namola health be accused for letting young women down many along ke after wulula safely government la responsibility lo woti doctors who are negligent should be pulled out of the system, retrained, and then maybe put back into the system with more reassurances near more far fanang they should face that consequence including no sol fanang film fe alon kebe healthcare system okono and you ila failure ya tinna more fata you should face the legal system was a akumfa mini nyanda keletel but Gambia mentality na bimbe min kono be bata kono be mbulo kono nyanta kala nyami o fanam be mbulo kono nyanta nga good leader sol pick min yalon ko yem promise mi o minna e bewle kala an min yalon ko banko la munafengo e ba a prioritize la lafta doctorol ni no sol min ye compassion soto min ye passion soto min ye empathy soto ani min ye hinante ya soto banko dingoli so wokuma yata bakale nkana nyinan na ethics la nkana nyinan na morals la yemin dundin tul be kun kono kabirin dinding nga make sure nga pass on to next generations so that na banko nyim banko dindin man jara kata Senegal jarla nsem fango jarano Gambia le fango be Gambia le GRA fanka min collect alone ase ngani problem mon min be mention bi GRA fango dama kamin collect karokoro wala sango kono ase nyim problem mon be asa be jarani so wala na kumoti Ebrima so ñu ko lu ci kacha nimbe abroad ndol bimbe abroad kanam fango detach ni se fango fen keno la local pharmacy to o e fango keno la local loptano to by all means hana be kala fengolti banda soleti glofolu ni tata yeta je ni e kacha ye nyin kala ni tora kur mu muneti ntol min be jang nin ke bada ni seta mol ko facilities min access on fanam be wala access la woto then support min put no into them be ngoke woto so that by the time bitala je ni mo be sa enjoy wala na promote kai.
Thank you, Sal. Thank you. I think, really speaking, Gunjurun Koli Etren Bakele, and we should be proud of you. Really. We give you a lot of good trade, and we are very, very proud of you. I just decry that the quakes for money, the quakes for material overshadowed the public service, the empathy, the saving of our lives, and still, Fele Manta Takan Dulato, Melamoila Be Kontona, Be Tentulambe Jaila. We are going to do Benyinkela Wati, so that in senyo hakilo bulandi because mbienga nyelilo ne hakil bulandolom anim purun tol fananga singa balafa soto na modi kata min na nina ta nyimbanko kan ninga kudoli jen ka kumbole why can't we do things like how these things are going so that dol fanana mol se dignity soto kabiri be fuariaring yesa in indignity yeta yefa in indignity just because of kodole mantare bulokon for any of these poor people useless tenya ko do nyanya itolle ko banko depends pour ko banko ta kaje afenge so momo kaleta ni wolitema na jara da fango fawe because you have to have sort of revolution sometimes pour system will correct France keta ule nyama jannabe overturn na from this bimbe mi enjoy kanje so banko intol fana handinda no mawoke nyantan kango ta ala nga afenge na influence to minnila nim banko man tarata ka rida num be ngalo ne banko man tarata ka ride fengol dabe clearing nyim musu kono mal fuaro lo muiti ni ajebe lakla anemia nin domor balia nin domor be ayon lakla because of kodote bul pour ka domor kendo lita wala ne domor kendo ta ya fenke ya di kella itoli e ko balaje kele mi ya lon ko ni l'hôpital ta sita e musoli nin muske ba kotol bulaita hospital ni ko bulode nyino wol fango malo mi mo blor fango be kele kumandila suo kono zimejele ni tebe basele ko be kumandila kanafo banjono pour ka blood di woto kedole ni koy blood di ibe ka som blood fango di le kafo imanya na blood di la for cultural tinnom for religious tinnom malo iko ya di burka blood sa blood man so dede bo san na nya di le koy te blood di fo kedole nyanta na banta wala musudore nyanta na pour ka blood na fena so nyanta balafa na nyimpe mu balafa baliyaleti mi ya lo koy annoying so barin to mi bijang be fango nyininka what can we do for that poor country? Not what the country can do for us. Not the quality table or Gambia. You think we minti table jainanta will achieve la Gambia pur kasi fuaro lo. But at the end of the day, it come and haunt you. Thank you all the listeners and in na boss and in the technician or me behind the scene, being Jamfata Baba, Kelbarnin topical are so important, Fonge exhaust, but Sal Binala, time to time, na frita wati, Kujamale Bijense, Minibao, Abe Gambia, ngala audio Jamal, Bimo, Wolfan Cachano, Bao Yindom, Mia, Long, Nyante Kachala. Thank you, Mr. Manneh. Thank you, all the listeners. Thank you, Mr. Jammeh, and all the technicians. Allah Baraka. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Ethnic Isles, ethnicisles.com. Ethnic Isles is a newly launched online store brought to you by Kadijaba to the Senegambian African community. Ethnic Isles will sell all your ethnic products at a reasonable price, just under one click. Visit our friendly online site where you can buy products from clothing, groceries, fashion accessories, African and Caribbean food, all under one roof. Ethnic Isle is also providing a door-to-door delivery service to your families in the Gambia. Tell your friends and families back home, Ethnic Isle is here for easy and hassle-free shopping on www.ethnicisles.com. Any information, contact our friendly admin. We're here to help. Ethnic Isles is our own.
Sponsor a Gambian girl through SAG Foundation. We are placing girls on the path to success through education. Our aim is to realize a Gambia where every girl is given equal access to education to reach their full potential. This is how we do it through our model of effecting generational systematic change. This is Amy. She is not in school, an underprivileged girl excluded from school due to lack of financial support. The SAG Foundation enrolled her into school, and she is equipped with all the essential resources to have a quality education. Amy is now making a difference in her community. Amy is now contributing towards the generational systematic change. Education changes everything for a girl.
Live in one.
Proper healthcare system, that's what I expect. Now I say go here, I'm not, that's what I expect. New control borders, yeah, that's what I expect. Cancel flights, set airport, me, that's what I expect. Nah legi ñun, ñep ñung si njaaxare. Ndaxte feebar bi aka gaawa waa ale. So stay at home, asa bopp ak ñi la jege oyto ndeku te def luñ digle noonu leen ko mun a xeexee. They know it's hard moo tax njëgi lu ne di gën a cher. Lu doon jar benn ñu def ko 10 like they don't care. The poor crying ku si am nang leen jàppale te yàlla na li jeex ba bés ñëw ñu du ko nettali. Wash your hands for your sake, cause our lives are at stake. Nañ aar xale yi, avoid marché bi, tasaare campé yi ba duñ gis saat ndaje fi pour ñu daan corona. Il faut ñu toppa charte yi.
Korole nataka dunia kumbondi. Hakile tubake, wole munyantoti. Kambulu kusafondola, nyobulu dozetala. Nibe tutola dukareda mura.
Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds or more with soap and water, alcohol-based hand rub or more. Cover your nose and mouth with flex elbow when you cough or sneeze. Na dore chio nakfagarun from this killing disease. Yala bana lulu yaga na yo balanga judu. Neku ne lip ngai bai chi lokhom yo wit nanga mwetu. Please take this COVID-19 seriously and limit movement. Stay at home, protect yourself and stop the visitations.
Banyana link,
banyana pikira Dabule njaka mobu pato makachilia Sicilia ni Lilian Ndanyowa ninya sakule mamena chibampulia Nyowa ninya mcho kula ni mcho mwina tiji Pumak piring Channel the deaf to go to lole Could call it 1025
Hey papa nji ayenji corona bandi manje Nyowa ninya nutefan kata walaban beno Corona bibu nora ni banyan Nasembati manyan Jurari banyan, swear to God, yep, dina cool, my people dina cool, God juradun, ay, corona go far, ay, Corona nataka dunia kumbondi, akili tubake, wole munyantolti, kambulu puta fonola, nyobulu no zetala. Betutola to carry down